Welcome to the Bloom Where You're Planted podcast from Never Too Late Cafe. I'm your host, Laura Womack. Each week, we sit down for a chat with someone just like you, someone who had an idea, a passion, a dream, or sometimes just a thought, and planted that seed, watched it grow into something they wanted to share with the world. If you have an idea for a topic or someone that would be a guest for the Bloom Where You're Planted podcast, feel free to reach out to us on Facebook, where you can join our Never Too Late Cafe Facebook group. We'd love to hear from you. And today we have a very special guest, Rachana, Rahman. Welcome.
Hi, Laura. How are you?
Good. Well, why don't you share with us where you're currently living?
Currently, I'm living in Frankfurt, capital of Kentucky, and I've been here from 1995.
Oh, okay. And where are you from originally?
Actually, I'm from Bangladesh, and I was born and raised in Bangladesh. I moved to in the USA in 1993.
Cool. So you have a lot of different art forms that you work with. So we're going to kind of just tell your story, and you can share back as far as you want. So what I first saw of yours was some artwork, and at the time you were doing sort of paper, maybe abstract illustrations or some design. So that's one form. So why don't we talk about that? When did you start doing art and design like that?
Um, that one collages, I think it was my recent interest, but
Mhm.
my style and forms keeps rotating, and um, maybe that is my major problem. I don't do anything for a long time. I keep changing my forms and styles. I think I've been doing it through my whole life, and it is the same thing I do with my writing, singing, in everything. I think I don't stick up with the same structure or the form and or the style. I keep breaking it, and until I get my satisfaction for the style, but I don't know when I'm going to get my own style.
Well, you're diverse, so that's entirely acceptable. So you mentioned also writing. So when did that start for you?
Actually, I was born and raised in a very creative family. So my parents both are very good writer. My father was writing uh, through his whole life, and my mother was a very good writer. She was a school teacher, and I was studying in St. Mary's School. It is in Chittagong, in my country, and there was a literally literal journal over there, and my first writing, I think, published when I was in fifth grade. So I was writing here and there in different magazine in my language, in Bengali, but actually I never showed those writings to anyone. Only I know. I knew that I'm writing, and I was hiding them. And there was also a famous journal in India, and I used to write there as a column. It's called personal column. Like you send all kind of problems to your problem over there, and they'll give the answer. So I was writing all kind of stories like I'm pregnant, running away with my cousin, or all kind of story I used to create and send them, and never mentioned my name. But I I felt very honored when my those letter was selected and they give me the suggestion you should do this. So I've been doing it for a long time, but no one ever knew. And in some cases also my I saw my mom is was reading that letter and reading the answer and telling me, look how troubled life that lady had or something like that, and I was laughing myself. Actually, it was my later actually got published, but I never told anyone.
You never told her it was you.
No, and not even now. No, my relatives, my siblings, my parents, they never knew that it was I actually writing. Only later on, one of my very close friend, he found it out. Actually, it was my writing. So, but I never revealed that to anyone. And when I was in 11th grade or 12th grade, on one of my short story got published also. So, but that one also only I think my friend he knew, but not anyone else. Like I was
Wow.
always
I mean, so from the time of fifth grade, you've been a published writer, author.
yeah, but no one knew that.
So they were stories and articles.
Yes, yeah. I think I am a actually I love short stories more than anything else. So yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
a storyteller, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I love to experiment with every forms and everything, and I believe that I'm very good in screenplay writing, but I never get a chance to prove it.
Well, I'm sure you'll have the opportunity if you ever put out to the universe that you'd like to do something. Usually, it presents itself as an opportunity. So I know we we shared some information along the line since I've known you, and there was something about music, and I know that recently you did something. But where does your music part, singing and dancing, when did all that start for you?
As long as I remember, when I was born, I think I was dancing. Actually, dancing is my first love. More than anything, I wanted to be a dancer. And actually, when I was walking, I was doing dancing. And that time, I did some performance also. Those are mainly at that time in school. And when I was young, there was a competition going on. Like we had in the state competition or something like that. So I used to participate. Dancing is my first love. No matter, like I know that, but I couldn't continue that one because I became very sick, and that time I was literally very sick. I had to be in hospital, like something like that. So the doctor one point suggested my mom not to stop my dancing. So at
Mm-hmm.
that time, I became very depressed and I was crying all the time that I want to dance, and a great depression walker at that time. And then the doctor suggested my mom that to put me in music. But at that time, I didn't want to sing or do anything about music because I was crying all the time at that I want to do dance. So then the music started. I think it was second grade, third grade, like that.
So that's been like your whole life as well.
Yes, but uh, like according to my family, they never thought that I'll be, be a professional musician, professional musician, or a dancer. It was on the side all the time, you know. But I always wanted to, I don't know, there's music, dance, and art. Even my art is also from my childhood. I was always drawing and doing doodles, and our environment, family environment, like all my siblings are like that actually, and my parents were also like that, and we didn't play at the playtime. Actually, our playtime is like um, I'm doing, I'm drawing with my brothers, and then doing an art exhibition in in the house, inside the house, and calling all the neighbors and friends, and they're coming in, seeing our arts. Or like from when I was little, like from our textbook, I was taking a story and making a play out of it, and the bed was our stage. and we made the bed as a stage and did the play and all the singings and dancing, and then we called the neighbors and the friends, like they'll come and watch it. So that's the way I grew up, like all the time. Like that was our playtime. It is like it was our playtime, like that way. Like instead of playing on the street or doing something else. So I spent time like that way.
That sounds like a very creative family you were a part of.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Where I came from a very creative family. Yeah.
Wow. So, most recently, you started writing some poetry, or you may have done it before, but when I first met you, you were at a poetry reading and at a convention. And so, is poetry, that part of writing, also been a part of your life for a long time?
Yes. Before I came to the United States, um, I always love poems. I don't know, like so that time I was reading and reciting poems in Bengali. You know, when I was in second grade, I went to a national poetry contest and I was in a third place, but there was a kind of corruption. They took my prize away and put somebody else there, like because I was an underdog and I don't have anyone to fight for me. But
Mm.
so I was telling this story because from the second grade, I was in love with the poems. I don't know why. Like some poems do something to me. I cannot explain it. At that time, it was Bengali. I never thought that I'll be in the USA and going to read English poems. And um, I have a what major there is a scarcity about the English language. You know, when I was in school and learning Bengali and English, I refused to learn this English language. I thought that no, I'm staying in Bangladesh. I'm not going anywhere. I don't need that English language, but now I'm paying the price for it. But when I came in the USA at that time, it is I'm always in a surviving mood. Like if we had to wait for the green card and all those things. Like then when I went to the school, Kentucky State University, I was studying computer science, but a part of me was always wanted to learn English literature and poems. So I was taking one course at a time in the creative writing course. And at that time, I was working, like I think 2007 or something. I was a full time employee working at a state as a programmer analyst. But I wanted to learn English literature because I get the Bengali literatures always, I got attracted with the literature all the time. So I was taking the courses and I start liking it, and slowly, I finished my minor in the creative writing. And all the professors over there, they were very hopeful and very positive about my writing. Though I still have lots of problem with the grammar and the modifiers and those things, but
Oh, who doesn't?
they,
It has nothing to do with you were in another country, because
I still feel like I'm not getting this language, but I got enough positive feedback from the professor, and they're very supportive, and they all love me very much. So finished that one, and that's the way I came to the writing. That's the way I came to the writing.
so you were at the University of Kentucky or
Ken-
University of Louisville?
Kentucky State, Frankfurt. It is in
Okay.
Frankfurt, Kentucky State University.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like at that time we have very good literature professor over here. They're very good.
Mm. So, and most recently, you have started, well, I would say in the last few months, and we're right now into November 2023. So it was, started video and interviewing someone about their creative process.
Yeah, yes. Yeah,
So
I
how
think I
did that
gave,
start?
because I think you already know that one, like, I was doing a bilingual project. It's the musical project with Whitehead and Lee Pennington and with Katrina. And so because of that, I had to go to Lee's house several times for the rehearsal. And I saw Lee and Ron, like they're so creative and so energetic, and I felt it will be a great mistake for me, like if I cannot able to capture um, mm, them in digitally. So that's the time the idea came to me, and now I'm getting very obsessed with that channel. And
So what
so
I
I think.
first saw was you interviewing him about his creative process. And we're
Mhm.
talking that your current project that's not released yet is the bilingual uh, music, uh, writing, poetry, and that is with Lee Pennington, Katrina Harper, yourself, and Ron Whitehead, correct?
Yes, yeah,
So
yeah.
that sounds like a real exciting project that you've just recorded recently.
Actually, Ron heard one of my song long time ago in the, like, not long time, the beginning of this year in January. I posted a Tagore song, and I translate the meaning of the song in English, and I have a music channel, like, so I post that mm, video on Facebook, and Ron saw it, and then he contacted with me, like, he wanted that song to one of his album. I think that is the Great Blue Heron on that album. For he was doing a poem, and the Katrina also singing with him. And so that is the very first song actually I did with Ron.
Mm.
It was the beginning of the January of 2023. Then when we are doing that project, so I had this project in my ID, like in my head long time ago, like this bilingual project. And because last 5 6 years I've been in India and studying music, Tagore songs. It's called Rabindranath Tagore. He is the first non-European Nobel laureate, like who received Nobel Prize in 1913 for his literature. So he is a very what do you call it? Like a father of our Bengali culture. If you say like that, you can say that. So that idea was in my head for a long time ago, because Tagore was influenced by Irish and Scottish, even European music, and he actually did some of his songs under with those melodies and following those melodies. So this series about those songs, like part of the song is was sang in English, and part of the song was sang in Bengali. So it is a very creative combination. And some of the poems, like it was taken from the Gitanjali that for that poem, that for that poetry book, he was nominated, or he got the actually Nobel Prize for that poetry book, Gitanjali.
And what was his name again?
Rabindranath Tagore. That we said in Bengali Rabindranath Tagore, but in English, like it's called Rabindranath Tagore.
Mm. Okay. And so that's still in the production stages.
We recorded it. Yes, I think the music and all those will be arranged by Matt and Bill, and then I think it will be released at the end of this year.
So that was exciting, probably, to be in a studio and do all of that, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, and four of us could feel it, like we and it actually the poor recording went like a live performance, like we are not stopping. We did one after another, and song and poem, and like it was like unless someone choked or pumped with the microphone, then it was stopped. But otherwise, it went like one after one recording.
So just a flow.
Yes, yeah.
There must have been a tremendous energy during that time.
Yes, as I told you earlier, that Ron and Leah, you know them, like they're so energetic and so positive. Like if you stay with them, you also become very energetic
Mm-hmm.
immediately. And Katrina is such a lovely singer and very positive also. So four of us actually very, it's a very good team together with the four of us. And I'm very grateful with Ron Whitehead. Without his effort and like financial support, it was not possible. And it also take a open mind, like to do such kind of project, like with a foreign language, with a foreign idea. It also take open mind to do that.
From what I gather, it's not the first time that Ron has done something with someone from in another language. So that's good in the fact that he has a little bit of basis to know how things should work, you
Mhm.
know. So that's amazing. And it must have been lots of fun. So I
Yes.
wish I could have been like a fly on the wall in the studio, because I bet it was just a charged studio. So, well, I know that that is one of the things that's, in your very near future. So, this podcast is called Bloom Where You're Planted, and it's a quote that we have here. Um, what would that quote mean to you?
I think it will be totally different. Like actually, I was planted in my country,
Mhm.
and I was supposed to bloom over there, but I was pulled out and planted in a foreign land. Everything is foreign for me over here. I've been living here for 30 years, but still I feel like everything. I'm discovering everything, like each day discovering new things. So still I'm not. I feel like I'm still a foreigner over here.
Mm.
So for me, that code will be like I'm trying to survive. I think like all if you pull a plant and put it in a different land, they not all plant can survive. So I want to survive and bloom over here.
Very good. From my perspective, and I'm sure many other people, that you're doing more than surviving. You are definitely blooming. So you've done a lot of different things, including coming from another country, going to school here, working here, creating here. So what advice would you have for someone that has done all of those things?
I think the my major strength, and I tell to everyone, just be true to yourself. Like I never try to pretend someone to be someone. I never try to pretend to be someone else. uh, I always try to be myself, and I think that is the major thing. And um, if you mainly in the art field, if you're not true to yourself, your art also doesn't become uh, that unique or truthful. So I feel like as an artist, that is the main criteria. Like you have to be true and honest and true to be yourself. That's what I think.
Mm,
It doesn't match with the art, and if you are having a ill heart and you are trying to do art that is very, to me, art is always very pure and very holy, and I feel like with the ill heart and with art it doesn't match together.
okay. And so what is next for you? I know that we talked about the production of the bilingual project will be out. So are there other projects that you're working on or thinking about?
Yes, for next year I already have like planned for three performance, like one in India, like this a musical performance, one in India, and another one I'm planning to do in Sri Lanka. She was my roommate when I was studying in India music. So yeah, so we wanted to do a performance in Sri Lanka. So I'm excited about that,
Mm-hmm.
and
Wow.
then another, I have a performance in Washington, D.C. in April. So after finishing these three performances, I feel like I need to go back to writing because I'm not doing writing for a long time. I was very busy with the um, painting and the music, but my writing has been stopped. So I'm missing that part, I think. And I wish I could get a fellowship or something because I want to be far, far away from family and friends and everything. I don't want to contact anybody and anything. So I wish like someone can lock me and just give me food or something and say I'll just write and write because there are lots of stories and lots of poems or lots of writing is waiting to be written, and I feel like I need to go back to that field. Actually, I'm actually separating uh, my creative process because um, I like I wanted to do art, music, and writing. I don't want to give up any of them. That's why, like, sometimes, most of the time, I actually heard from my parents and from teacher or even my husband also says like you need to do one thing, not all of them. But I cannot cut them out from my life because if I feel like if I want to sing today, then the I want to sing today. If I want to paint today, I want to paint today. I want to write today, I want to write today. But now recently, actually, I separated. Like I feel like okay, this year I'm going to focus on painting. Next year I'm going to focus on music, and then next year I'm going to focus on writing. So I think that 2024 I'm going to focus on writing.
Mm. Now, before I forget, you mentioned painting. You had something selected, a storefront?
I actually like I came into I think in 2022 one of my painting got selected for Team Kentucky Gallery, and it was located in the main halls of the state capitol in Frankfurt. And then in 2022 I have a solo exhibition in JCM Art Gallery in Frankfurt, that is also. And in 2023, in this year, one of my painting got selected by Louisville Tourist, what you call it, Louisville Tourism Center, and they put it in the, they make a, they actually put that in a larger scale and put it in front of the Spark Louisville. It is in the downtown, in front of the Sparks building.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I did, you know, you're very humble. And so these are huge accomplishments. I hope you know that.
Oh, I'm lucky. Yes, I'm very glad it happened. But I have seen so many talented people in my whole life, and I just feel like I'm just lucky. But there, everybody, I see people, everyone is talented. Like so, I never feel like anything special I have done.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Rachana, to have you on the podcast. And I'm sure we will catch up at another point because you keep creating and there's so many things that you do. And I just look forward to hearing about more.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you very much.
So as our time comes to a close, remember to keep creating, keep sharing, and keep supporting each other. And remember to bloom where you're planted. Bye for now.